Two great games this weekend, and it's gone all according to plan for Hull so far. 18-0 they lead at half-time. Prior to tonight, where Daniel Holsworth has controlled things for the Black and Whites, Leeds have seen more at home here than they ever used to do at the Boulevard. And this is a big 40 minutes coming up for the champions. They lost 3 of their last 5 visits at the old ground, including a 38-6 beating in their last ever visit to the old place in March 2002. Well, unless they shore up things in this second half, it looks like a big score that could be going against them here.
Yeah, well, Leeds will probably get a lot more possession in the second half. It normally does work out that way. The big danger I feel for Peter Gentle's side is that they may just take their eye off the ball, just be a little bit too comfortable with an 18-0 lead. What they've got to do is keep that high tempo going that they showed in the first stanza. And
McDonald's got a bang on the head there as he slipped down in the tackle, and they slip again there, do Hull, in the shape of Kirk Yeaman. That's Johnson, he's hammered to the ground. It looks like McDonald's okay. Houghton flings the ball back to Holsworth. Under pressure, he gets it away.
Eddie, think about what we haven't seen from Leeds today. Punching up in the middle, quick play of the balls, and Rob Burrow scooting, and then shoving the ball right to Callum Watkins. I know he's off the field now. Or getting the ball wide to Joel Moon. I haven't seen Joel Moon get quality ball. He has the ball now early in his hands with a winger outside him with a chance to attack the line after a setup. Leeds well off what you'd expect.
Jamie Jones-Buchanan will carry it forward. It won't be a night he will care to remember, his 300th appearance for the club if they go down here. And this is Singleton.
The biggest problem for Leeds is the fact that Hull's defence are virtually turned him into just one-out play. This is the first chance they've got it out.
And with Hardaker, Yeaman does well though. Quick play the ball to Vickery. And Maguire had a look up and planted the ball over this side looking for Ryan Hall. Instead he's only found Ben Crooks, I think. Oh, that ball's come free. And here is Singleton. Is 6 to go for Leeds, is it? No.
Was it one-on-one? That's the question. And he was just seeing what was going to happen. I think there was 2 involved in the tackle. And so therefore, as soon as he lost it, I'm not so sure, maybe Ryan Hall had peeled away.
Ryan Hall's had his hands on him, so I think there are 2 in the tackle, so Ryan Hall just put his hands on him after he attempted to catch the ball, so again it's the correct call.
Always think they're difficult for referees to judge at full pace. But he's had the nod of approval from Stuart Cummings, as James Child. Let's go down to Bill. All the injury news to catch up on and what was said at half-time, Bill.
Eddie, it was a very steely, determined Leeds Rhinos side that came marching down the corridor from their dressing room. Really do look as they mean business in this second half, but they will be without Callum Watkins, who it's believed has got ankle ligament problems. And as you can see, he's on crutches, his right ankle in a boot, and they will send him to hospital. He will have a scan on Monday. So the Rhinos, another great kick from Hull. Fantastic kick. And for all the determination, the Rhinos are backpedaling again. And good news for Hull FC. Gareth Ellis, who came off in the first half in slightly mysterious circumstances. Watkins sitting on the sidelines. Ellis, by contrast, is prowling on the sidelines. He's been on the exercise bike. Just had a bit of a moment in the first half. That's the only explanation coming from Hull FC. And Gareth Ellis was eavesdropping the conversation. I was talking to the team doctor and he just shouted, "Just tell him my foot's all right."
Yes, that was what caused him all the trouble in the first meeting with Leeds, or the first meeting for Gareth Ellis that didn't happen with Leeds on February the 1st. But
boy, Paul Johnson felt that one. It was a big hit from Jamie Jones-Buchanan and is involved yet again on Westerman.
Here's Jeremiah. That's a good ball to Liam Watts. Houghton 20 metres away from the line, scampers in there, finds Holsworth, flat ball, and it's dropped by Galea. Here's the free play for Leeds. May as well have a kick and hope here.
Well, you talk about hope, Eddie. I hope that they squash this.
Now the referee says that's the 0 tackle, so it's as good as a scrum head and feed. You get some free plays, you don't get others. Of course, if he takes them back 10-15 metres and puts the scrum down, there's no advantage for the team that has got hold of the football. So I can see where they're coming from, but it's a strange rule, and of course it doesn't happen in the Southern Hemisphere. So come the end of the season, when there's the World Cup to play for, England could be full of confusion.
Seen a few interesting plays from Kevin Sinfield. He's going to run in the first half out of dummy half to try and get his team going forward. On that occasion, he took the ball as first receiver. Not many options outside him, and just crashed into the defensive line, was turned over, and they've spread it out wide again. Unusual to see Kevin Sinfield playing that role, usually sitting back and let the others do that hard work. I guess he maybe not getting the response he wants from his forwards, so he can ball play behind that.
Well, here is McShane, who gets himself away from two would-be tacklers, finds Sinfield. Nice little stab through for Jamie Jones-Buchanan, brilliantly picked up. He's got Burrow on his inside. Oh, I was going to say that came off the foot. Yeah, Sinfield believes it came off the foot as well.
No, it came off the foot to start with, but he got a fingertip to it and then lost control.
I'm not so sure.
I am. Off the boot and then off his
chest. It was off his chest.
Are you sure?
It looks like it comes off his chest there, which should be play on from that position. Might have been worth James letting it run and see if he goes over to over the try line and come back and use the video ref.
It would have been interesting to see what the video referee made of that. Quizzical look from Kevin Sinfield. He's convinced it never touched his hands. Anyway, as far as James Child's concerned, it did. And that's a penalty.
And again, sheer frustration. And he knows it as well. The big fella, Chris Clarkson, raises the arm and says, sorry, fellas. They can ill afford to be doing that, especially with the black and whites running rampant.
The penalty count is currently 7-2 in Hull's favour.
It was hard to see. Hard to tell. Some you win, some you lose, as the black and whites will tell you last weekend.
Well, they were the winners, of course, on that occasion. Here's Houghton. Now Jeremiah. Johnson.
And again, well-balanced play by the whole side. Switching from one open, then onto the blind side. They really are under control, and the way that the standoff Daniel Holdsworth is handling the kicking game, been outstanding.
Galea, little half break, halted by Sinfield and then Maguire. And Galea asking the referee for a penalty, not forthcoming on that occasion. Good crossfield kick. Reinhold, though, very good under it. But Ben Crooks doing well, pushing him back almost to the goal line. Burrow having to work it away from there now. Must be delighted, Peter Gentle, with the way this game's going.
Their defence is crashed up tonight. Absolutely muscling.
If you play in a side, Eddie, and your teammates are doing this, they're harrying, they're harassing, they're dragging people down, they're ripping into the tackles. Geez, you know you're in for a good night. The Hull FC fans have packed out sides of this stadium, but they know they can sense the same thing. They get a side here that's willing to defend, willing to try and hurt the Leeds players when they run the ball. Great display from the home side.
And Burrow on the last tackle from midway inside his own half with the kick downfield that finds Briscoe, who in turn then gives it to McDonnell. And McDonnell going on one of those runs of his that's halted by Brett Delaney. Yeaman at dummy half. Delaney again very quickly in, helped out by Sutcliffe.
Tackle two, offload.
Yeah, the referee called held then, and he tried to pass the ball, so he's giving him the ball back to play it again.
Galea is held down too long by Kevin Sinfield and Ian Kirk.
Well, they're becoming their own worst enemy here. It's as we keep mentioning, it's sheer frustration. They're very slow to roll away. They've done the hard work, and it gives you the impression that perhaps they are tiring, which is not surprising. They've had to do a heck of a lot more defending of Leeds.
That's a good run again from Houghton. It was an important tackle from young Liam Sutcliffe. Here now is Johnson. He goes into the dead area in terms of grass on this pitch, but it's anything but a dead area, the KC Stadium at the moment, because here come the black and whites again. McDonnell, though, is tackled by Sinfield.
Good play by the Leeds skipper as well. Had to come in on the angle.
Holdsworth comes into the middle to Lynch, and he then gets it away to Watts. Can't get his hands free, so he'll hang on, take the tackle.
Will Houghton go on his own again?
Here comes the lash for the Black and Whites. Houghton comes wide to Jeremiah. They're lined up down this side. Chips looking forward for Crooks. Very well claimed by Hardaker. Brilliantly claimed, actually. And what a return. 20 metres.
Is Crooks injured in back play? Interesting to see whether it was taken out without the ball.
Well, every stat or indication suggests that Hull are in charge, they're in control, and they should score next. But 18-0 is a really significant, or an 18-point deficit in rugby league is really significant because it looks a lot. But with one try, of which the champions are capable from anywhere, the whole complexion of this game could change. There's another injury here.
Oh, this looks a bad one for Danny Maguire.
Oh, is that a knee problem?
The moment he went down, he was looking for
yeah, that's the ankle.
For help.
Yeah, that ankle and knee. It's pretty similar to what happened to Callum Watkins. Went underneath, nothing untowards, just a big fella Watts, and went right across the leg. He's raised the arm straight away, and
yeah, he understood.
And that was good.
He understood, Steve, that Danny Maguire was vulnerable. There was nothing in that. Liam Watts is just body weight landing on Danny Maguire as Danny strove to get down onto the ground and get up and play the ball. Ben Crooks looks to be okay. I'm just looking at Tom Lynham down on the sideline.
There's his dad, Lee.
He'll be proud of what he's doing. Tom Lynham is one of the biggest wingers I've seen. I thought Ryan Hall was big. Tom Lynham is huge. We saw him take a great catch above Ryan Hall's head. Looked like Danny Maguire will be ruled out for the night.
Oh, I think he's in real pain and real problems, Danny.
He knows it too. He's been playing long enough to understand the probabilities and the possibilities that happen when your leg goes under such a heavy body weight.
Could be a second ankle ligament problem for Leeds, with Watkins already off the field, and there's the signal. Another X-Factor man's going off. It is coming at a cost, this scoreline of 18-0 against.
Not sure what they do now, Eddie. That's two significant players off the field. Callum Watkins thread out on the right-hand side, and Danny Maguire right in the middle. They're losing some of their biggest threats. It's going to take other players to step up, and they're going to need almost a miracle, Eddie, to get back into this game.
And that's the problem, Brian, when you start with the subs bench. They're all forwards. You've got to shift it around. It's not going to be easy for them.
Goes high off the boot of Sinfield again, but easy for McDonald. Sutcliffe following up, and then a big head clash with Brett Delaney.
Boy, Delaney's been in the wars as well. Remember, he was injured very early in this game. But we've seen some really good skills, haven't we, from the Black and Whites tonight. But I can assure you, Peter Gentle will be very, very happy with their defence. It's been outstanding. It's been cruel at times, and in fact, it's a long time since I've seen a Leeds team with that bit of penalty.
Well, the referee, I think, is going to have a word now with Kevin Sinfield and put the Leeds team on the warning.
Was that a shoulder charge from McShane? I think it was.
I think he's dropped that.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about the shoulder charge.
He's had words.
He's not penalised for shoulder charge. I think Ben Crooks has dropped that ball. I think Leeds have been hard done by there.
Ball steal. Stuart Cummings agreed.
Well, I think it's the interference. Again, the Hull player's got in a good position. It's the Leeds players who are trying to scramble to get to marker. McShane's put his hand back in near the ball, and the ball's come out. So again, it's a penalty that's warranted.
Well, Hull 18-0 up, and Jeremiah in possession, who gives it then to Andy Lynch, and it's all hands to the pumps here for Leeds.
That's come out as well.
It has come out, and that's a really big hit by Ian Kirk.
Certainly was, and he felt it, didn't he, Andy Lynch? But there's an old saying in rugby league that if you're going to lose possession, you may as well do it deep in within the opposition half. The point that I was making is that I've never seen a Leeds side for so many months that has been forced by an opposition defence into one-out football as much. They've just absolutely tackle him out of the game.
Well, they are on the ropes, aren't they? But they're clinging in there. I mean, that was great defence to force a mistake. Another score for Hull, and the game's effectively over for Leeds. They can't come back from there. But at 18-0, there's still a chance.
And with this fellow out there, Ryan Hall and Joel Moon and Zach Hardaker and Kevin Sinfield, they do have their match winners, but they have got two of their previously ever-present members of this squad, Maguire and Watkins, off the field. Sinfield to Burrow, another match winner here. That's forward.
Well, I think even Rob Burrow will have to admit that that was going forward.
Well, he doesn't admit it.
Yep, just drifted. Looks worse here. No chance of the momentum rule because Rob Burrow was stopped in his tracks.
Any chance that Daniel Holdsworth's hand had an effect on where that ball went then as the ball was being passed?
Stuart, that's a question you might answer.
Well, again, I just look at the ball coming out of the hands. It appears to come out of the hands, and it was actually Tim Roby on the far side that has called that, and he's in line with the pass.
Well, is that they've every right, the opposition, to go for the ball carrying arm. Nothing illegal about that. But this has been impressive, hasn't it? You know, Peter Gentle will probably perhaps look at this game and say it's the best they've played all round. Forwards, three quarters, they've been adventurous.
Ellis is back, as you see. They were pretty impressive at Warrington, Steve-O.
Yep.
They're putting it together. That's another great kick.
And that's another
Chase
great
is
advantage.
fantastic. Hardaker, though, will return it. Here he goes, Zach Hardaker.
He's got
Nobody
the
with
pace.
him. There's no one with him. Great tackle by the opposite number, McDonald. Now Burrow's arrived.
Should have been penalised there, Shannon McDonald. He held him back, and the second go at it, hold him down, and that's a good payment for a good effort.
When the break came, though, from Hardaker, there was nobody there. He was on his own, was Zach Hardaker.
Well, you've got to take into consideration, Eddie, that they were all going back. It was a deep kick by Danny Houghton. It's been a tough road for them, but can they just come back? Can they put a bit of fear in this black and white side? They can only do that by scoring.
And Moon is trying to find a hole in the defence that isn't there for the time being. But this is a great chance for Leeds now to get back into it. McShane to Luluai, back it comes to Burrow. Burrow then to Sinfield, who's standing deep. He'll have a run. Slides the pass to Delaney, and Ellis and Holdsworth come back and cut him down. Sinfield from dummy half. Oh, they went for the interception. It's going to be 6 to go here. Oh, I thought that was 6 to go for Leeds.
Well, it certainly appeared that way, but it said play on to James Child.
There's a hand on that.
There's definitely a hand there.
Yes, they've missed that one. That was definitely played up by Hull.
Start getting into the territory now, Eddie, where Leeds are going to get fatigued because they're down two players. Callum Watkins early in the game meant that Brett Delaney's had to go out into the centre position. It's one less interchange. Then Danny Maguire goes off injured, not to return. Another person down in the interchange bench. And that can have an effect when you've only got 10 to play with.
Yes, and there's a long way still to go in this match. A little fumble by Andy Lynch, and Delaney was on him, but he managed to retain possession.
Well,
another kick from Holdsworth.
A glimmer of hope for the Leeds viewers tuning in to watch this. They might remember the last time they played them, they scored 5 tries in the last 24 minutes. That's exactly how long's left on the clock. It's about how many tries they need right now. They're going to have to start to score them soon.
20 metre restart because Hardaker, as you see, he's had his foot over the line, so he was dead, and he therefore made the ball dead. Even though it was he who patted it over the line. Bailey.
Look at that defence. Look how they're closing in.
Oh, that was high.
Certainly
that
was, and it's been
high shot from Holdsworth.
Yeah, just lost his cool slightly. He knows how important it is to give away a penalty. Peter Gentle will be marking that down. But other than that, he's had a magnificent game, hasn't he? The kicking department from Holdsworth.
Well, you said he was the key before the match.
And it's proven that way, that's for sure.
And people say you don't know much about this game, Steve-O. How dare they?
I'm glad you're on my side, Eddie.
Always. And have been for years. We've just seen Danny Maguire in absolute agony. We'll see what Leeds do here, then we'll be down to Bill for the report. Kirk will play it to McShane. Here's Jamie Jones-Buchanan. Joel Moon now. McShane's waiting and looking right, obviously, because he's tied to the touchline. Here's JJB again. Down he goes on tackle number 4, 10 metres away from the whole line. Burrow is there. He finds Sinfield. Sinfield gives it then to young Sutcliffe. Was that high from Ellis? Yes, it was.
He's got to have a little word as James Child.
Penalty count is evening itself up, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's got to just say, hey, come on.
Bailey wants to get on with it quickly, plays it to McShane. McShane trying to pinch one. Oh, and he thought about the offload and he's lost that ball.
That'll be knock on. Well, you can't blame him. He's tried his damnedest since coming off the bench as Paul McShane. He knew that they had to start scoring quick. And he tried his damnedest, just lost it.
Galea's presence made him think twice.
And by that time, he'd lost control of it.
Let's get down to Bill. News of Danny.
Yeah, it's turning out to be a really torrid night for the Leeds Rhinos, and Danny Maguire is really going through the agonies here. He's in a lot of pain. I suspect it might be a similar situation to Callum Watkins in the first half, but they had to cut his sock off to get to the injury, but it could well be ankle ligaments for Danny Maguire as well. It's the left ankle they're working on. They've strapped it up. They've put an identical strapping on as they put on Watkins. I wonder if they've got a second orthopaedic boot that they can apply as well, but the painkillers are being handed out, and it's a tough game, and it's a tough night for the Leeds Rhinos, who nevertheless are showing real spirit in the second half to try and get back into the game.
Well, Maguire and Watkins off. Watkins certainly in the England squad for the Exiles match coming up in a fortnight's time. And I bet Danny Maguire was in Steve McNamara's thoughts as well. Steve, by the way, will announce the squad next week. And we're hoping to talk to him on Boots and Hall on Wednesday about it. And England Exiles, 2 weeks today, 14th of June, 7:30, Sky Sports 2 HD.
Well, Leeds can feel pretty proud of the effort. Remember, they've lost Watkins, they've lost Danny Maguire. Their defence has been outstanding in the second stanza.
And the kicking game has been superb.
Out of the top draw already.
And the chase is good. They look really fit tonight, Hull.
Oh, did well to hang on to that, Ryan Hall. Look at that defence, though. Again, it's one out from Leeds. It isn't as though they want to do it. They just have no space whatsoever. That is clever defence.
As soon as Lulawai received that, they were on him.
Well, you can see Leeds have done pretty well, you know. They're working their way back into this game. They're making breaks, they're making meters. Can they score tries?
Well, they can if they get the ball wide, because here goes Delaney! Wonderful effort from Brett Delaney. A magnificent effort from Brett Delaney. And he's now hurt himself again.
For a split second, I thought his foot was in touch before he put it down. Hopefully he hit it first time. He hit the ground hard. He just got tackled just out before the line. You see the break, Kevin Sinfield.
Well, this was just casual from Sutcliffe. Did the right thing. Confused the fullback, Shannon McDonald. He thought that Sutcliffe was going to actually kick the ball. Got it down just in time. Probably would have been given on the first as he just launched over. How casual is this? How's this for determination? This guy has gone through the horrors with injuries, and that's sufficient. Just made sure.
Feet up, ball down, 4 points Leeds, just what they wanted. Delaney, though, another obvious injury problem, and he has been for much of this game, Brett Delaney. But what an effort from him. What an effort to get on the end of that pass from Sutcliffe. Well, and then make it to the corner.
But you know, over the past couple of weeks, Delaney, he must have gone through about a mile of tape, because that's the only thing that's keeping him together.
Here comes Sinfield with the kick. And Leeds have not given this up yet, despite the adversity they've faced tonight. They're first to score in this second half, 18-6.
Well, they've had the last 3 penalties. It's helped them with possession, and they've finally made a break and turned it into a try. What sort of influence now and impact will that have? Kevin Sinfield made the conversion from the sideline. I've no doubt they've got enough leaders in the field whilst the kick was being converted to reinforce the messages that need to be sent now to ensure that that score is backed up with some more great play.
Any psychologists amongst us, if you look at the body language of Brett Delaney, who's out there, he is going through agonies for his club.
He's defying logic. It's as simple as that.
Is that 4 penalties in a row now? Maybe Stuart might keep a count on that.
Yeah, it's 4.
It's the 4th on the bounce, yeah. And again, it's you know, having poor contact. He's come up with his hand on the ball. He's stood up and he's still in contact with the ball, stopping the Leeds player from playing the ball. So, you know, it's an easy penalty for the referee to give.
4 penalties in a row from Leeds after 7 on the bounce for Hull.
Well, Peter Gentle, the Hull coach, must be furious about all this. They realise they've got to get themselves sorted out. It's take nothing away from the Rhinos. They really have up the tempo. They've tried their damnedest. 2 major injuries. Sinfield not happy with something that went on there. Oh, he's lost it. Jones Buchanan. He has claimed that it was ripped out. I think he's got a point.
Maybe it was his own hand as well that came back and just dislodged it. Nope. Not sure. Anyway, it was 1-on-1 anyway. What was that look for then?
What look?
McDonnell.
Now this is where the kicking game from Daniel Holdsworth. Remember, we've been praising him all through this match, that he's controlling it with a kick. He's got to make sure that he puts himself in a good position. Maybe take it on the blind side, make sure it goes into touch. Slow the game down slightly. Stop the momentum that leads. Oh, come up with an error.
You know, there's some worrying signs here for Hull. They're missing more tackles in the last 10 or 15 minutes. They're coming up with some errors in possession. And after really dominating, it's unusual, you know, the defence was brilliant for the first 50 minutes. They've now missed more tackles than Leeds, even though they've had less ball, and they're starting to creep up with the handling errors. An invitation for the Rhinos.
The only thing that's stopping Leeds from taking that invitation, Phil, is Leeds themselves. I think Paul McShane trying to offload on the try line. Jamie Jones Buchanan, when they get the possession back, coughing up, turning it back over to Hull FC. They're getting shots at Hull, are giving them a shot, but Leeds not good enough to take it at this moment.
Joel Moon gets away from Ben Cross briefly. Peter Gentle maybe just thinking about maybe time to bite the fingernails a bit here, because it's a worry for him. And that's a strange thing to say when they're 18-6 up. But the impression we get is that Leeds are grinding their way back into this. And that's a lovely kick from Sinfield.
Yeah.
Just didn't stay in the field of play. That was the only thing that was maybe slightly wrong with it.
Well, he tried to get the back spin on it, didn't quite work, but he'll be pretty pleased with the position. He knows that they can come up and force the error, and on top of that, he knows that Hull are giving away so many penalties.
You remember how big a rival these two teams are. You got Hull KR just across the city, and I know that's the #1 rivalry. But having spent some time living here in Hull, you know that when Leeds come to town, it's a big, big game. This is a game their supporters would love to, the Hull FC supporters that is, would love to get a scalp here tonight.
Yes, you were a black and white in the days when
Legend.
the Boulevard was the... What?
A black and white legend.
Were you?
Yeah, moved about a bit, did Brian?
Well, he had to. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere with that now, I've decided.
Right, shut up.
Yeah. Little bit of a reverse.
I said shut up.
I am right out of the cul-de-sac. I've come back.
Well done. The bound reverse. Now it's an important time now for the black and whites to show they can control the game. Okay, they've been put under a lot of pressure, conceded that try.
Would you look for the 1-pointer, Mike?
No, I'd get to Holdsworth and say, don't knock on, son, just make sure you get it downfield.
Jeremiah. And here goes Houghton.
He's had another big game, this fella.
Here is Holdsworth. That's a better kick. Oh, and Ryan Hall with a fumble.
That's all you needed.
They're going to get another set of 6.
Well, Peter Gentle will be very happy that the kick from Daniel Holdsworth was finally achieved. He didn't knock on. He did the previous one, and this is what it means to the fans.
And just back to the legend business about Brian Carney, I didn't think you could call yourself a legend. I think that people really should make the vote. I mean, you didn't make a man of the match.
Yeah, which is an opportune time for me to say that Hull FC tomorrow are putting on a great day for their fans, and they invited previous legends of the club. So I received an email, my name, Johnny Whiteley's name, Motu Tony's name, Lee Crooks' name, all mentioned. So yes, Hull FC considered me a legend.
Well, if you can get your arm up your back, you may as well pat it.
And are you coming?
No, I'm not.
What a legend.
Says it all.
A legend in his own lunchtime, and here is Andy Lynch.
And boy, hasn't he been a great servant to our game of rugby league. Lynch, he puts every ounce into it. Now, Phil, maybe one drive, and maybe they will go, but Houghton goes on the block.
Crooks got that ball away. I think they've managed to hold on to it. They have.
Oh, that's Crooks really shouldn't have been even thinking about it.
Holdsworth, this is a crossfield kick. This is dangerous. This is dangerous. It's a knock on by the black and whites in the shape of Tom Briscoe. Oh, he's given the goal line dropout. And Kevin Sinfield's asked him to ask Richard Silverwood for guidance.
Well, he may as well. We've got enough controversy. Oh, it looks quite clear as far as I'm concerned. Briscoe has knocked on. Should be a tap on the 20.
It'll be a 20-metre restart. This is clearly knocked on, so James is right to check with the video referee, and we've got the right restart.
Is he right to check after he's already, signalled that it's a goal line dropout, Stuart?
Kevin Sinfield forced that.
Well, he has to make a decision, because if the video referee can't, make that decision, if we don't have the coverage that gives the answer, he has to go with his initial decision. So he will make a decision regardless.
It was a 20-metre restart, and that's where Leeds still are after 2 tackles, and they have only made 3, 4 or 5 metres forward. They might make a bit more here. Ryan Hall.
Well, he hasn't had many passes today, Ryan Hall.
Good work by Ben Crooks in defence. Sinfield short ball, good ball too.
Good defence though, isn't it? Be interesting to count how many times that Leeds have been caught just one out throughout this game.
High off the boot of Sinfield. McDonald watching it all the way.
Just a touch too strong.
Good take.
But that's good defence. Barely getting the shoulder in. Been pretty solid as Shannon McDonald. Had a tremendous first 20 minutes.
It's a gutsy, gritty effort from Leeds though right now. Second fiddle for what, 55, 60 minutes?
Yeah, and under the circumstances, to lose 2 stars, Watkins and Maguire, and we know that great run. This kid, he impresses me every time he plays.
Holdsworth into centre field to McDonald. There is Ellis. Come wide to Yeeman, and Yeeman's on his way. He's got support inside of Yeeman. He doesn't want him. Maybe he does.
Oh, it's not Tom.
It should have gone earlier.
Yeah, Yeeman, greedy, and you can see there, why on earth did you not pass earlier? Once Yeeman, look at that, Holdsworth's there, Pitts is there. Sheer panic.
It's a no-look pass.
All he had to do was just draw the fullback. Basic principle, rugby league. I'm here, boy, I'm here.
Well, he doesn't even have to draw the fullback, does he, with Holdsworth in so much space on his inside. Pass should have gone early. And Jay Pitts was hunting a try as well, and wouldn't that have been a sweet moment for him against his former club? Anyway, Leeds survive. But I don't think there's any doubt, and I bet Brian McDermott won't be claiming anything other than Hull have been the better side tonight.
Yeah, they've been outstanding. It's the best I've seen them for quite some time. The capacity in defence to just keep going and not allowing their opposition any room to move. There's another penalty.
Super League extra time. Press the red buttons when we're done here in about 10 minutes or so. We'll be talking to him and Brian McDermott.
And I'm sure Peter Jen will be saying that the one thing we've got to erase from our game, especially when we're under pressure, is giving away so many penalties.
12 points for Leeds with 10 minutes to go. There's times when you say yes, that's well within their capabilities. When they're down to 15 men, Eddie, and playing so poorly across the whole of the game, if you judge them on that, I'm not sure they can do it. I hope for the sake of entertainment they can, because try now in the next 3 or 4 minutes will give us one heck of a finish.
Well, they're going short-sided here with Hardaker. Pitches it back inside to Sinfield, who'll never give up. Neither will Burrow. Away from one would be challenged. Back he comes again, ducking underneath them. In the end, they get him down. That's his trademark. McShane. Sinfield again. Pass on the inside to Jamie Jones. 12 metres away. McShane. Sinfield again. Here's Hardaker, and it went via his body to Ryan Hall. Short pass then from Ryan Hall. That was Singleton. He gets it away. Leeds keeping the ball alive. Ryan Hall. McShane. It's all grouped up the middle, this. McShane bouncing on his toes. Can't get through them. I think he'll hang on this time. He learned the lesson before. Brian McDermott powering the sideline, knowing the chances are here. Could have got this down. No, Joel Moon is held up.
Yeah, good position there by James Child. That's what we like to see from a good referee. And he's done well tonight.
Brilliant defence. Brilliant, patient defence, working for each other. Further away from the try line, they were good. And they're even better when they got challenged right beside the line. Joel Moon trying to go over. They need to pat themselves on the back. That's a brilliant period of defence. Peter Gentle sure should be delighted with that.
Yeah, good work by Jeremiah. Got his body underneath it. It was worth the chance, wasn't it?
It was the turnover, because it was the last tackle. And here goes Lynham again. Bang, down he goes. Solid hit from Brad Singleton. Haven't these two, Singleton and Sutcliffe, haven't they been impressive tonight?
Yep. Augurs well for the future, doesn't it, at Leeds with those two.
Houghton gives it to Holsworth. Still deep inside his own half is Holsworth. Lynch.
You get the impression now that Leeds are quite happy just to slow things down and make sure this is a deep kick.
Well, the kick will come from deep inside their own half. Holsworth's gone for a 40-20 possibility. Ooh, he's only just missed it. He has only just missed it.
He thinks he's done it.
And so does the referee.
Well, this is outstanding.
It's a wonderful kick. It's well inside the 40. Now, does it make the 20?
Stuart, who makes the decision to guess? Is it the touch judge or the referee?
Well, I think it's more than a guess. It's probably educated. The referee will get behind the line of the ball, which you saw James do there, and he'll make the decision as to where it's gone, which side of the line it's gone. It's much easier for the referee on that line to make the decision than it is the touch judge.
Well, it's his second 40-20 in 2 games. He kicked one at the Magic. Did Daniel.
And that is the operative word, Eddie. Daniel Holsworth tonight has been magic. Controlled it, hasn't he?
Ellis.
Now
harass him to the ground.
Now I will be looking for my 1 point.
Houghton. They're looking for more than that. Well, Bailey flew out of the line. He caught Holsworth on the shoulder. Now he's got to get out of the way. He doesn't want to risk giving away a penalty. Here goes Yeeman.
Drive to the sticks, which is the forward wants it. That's all they need. Who's going to drop back for it?
I think they're looking for more than the one. Here's Jeremiah. Has to take the tackle though. Leeds have done well, pushing them back to the 20-metre mark.
Westerman's shouting out. Need one drive. Stick it up the jumper. Are we ready?
Well, this is the last one. Now then, Holsworth's there. It'll come back to Holsworth. Here's the drop goal attempt.
Well, it was the slowest build-up I've ever seen to a drop goal, and
was it the worst kick he's made all night?
Probably you're right, but he knew that would seal it. But I think deep down, Phil, that 40-20 that came from Daniel Holsworth, that has secured the win.
Oh, I agree. Most of his kicks have been world-class. Probably game separating, although I don't want to take anything away from the try that Tom Lynham set up with his world-class catch high off the feet, off the field of play, above his head, and setting up Ben Crooks to go and score that 80-metre effort. That, to me, was the game-defining moment of tonight.
Well, yes, it's been a tremendous second half. Remember, they kept Wigan scoreless at the Magic, did Leeds, and they've done it so far tonight to the Black and Whites, but doing it without some star men. Bill?
Yeah, what cost? 4 defeats in a row now for Leeds, and Callum Watkins and Danny Maguire both having appointments with an X-ray machine on Monday by the sound of things. The fear with Maguire is that it could be a break. They're hoping it might be ligaments. It could be a broken ankle.
Big blows, big blows for Leeds.
And that's why you can take your hat off to the performance by the Rhinos in the second half. You know, it looks like they're going to get away with actually winning the second half 6-0, Eddie. And against all the odds, this has been a tremendous performance. I think that even Brian McDermott, the Leeds coach, will take into consideration that they were outplayed in the first half, but this has been outstanding by the Rhinos in the second stanza.
It has, and in that case you have to say, just how good has it been for Hull?
Brilliant.
Last one.
I think, Eddie, it's been all Hull for me. I mean, we're talking about Leeds Rhinos as the champions, and you've got to give them respect. I thought they were really good last weekend against Wigan, and possibly a little unlucky in defeat, but this has been about one side tonight. I think Hull FC have absolutely dominated Leeds Rhinos here. I know Leeds have lost a couple of players, and they haven't performed well, and some of their best players haven't performed well, but
they haven't been allowed to.
No, they haven't, absolutely. Hull have destroyed them tonight.
Luluai will carry the battle forward as he always does, even though there's only 3 minutes left to play, as the Hull anthem, Old Faithful, rings around this ground. Sinfield wants to get on with it. Galea was all over him. Here is Burrow. Another scampering run from Rob Burrow, halted on tackle number 5. It'll be to Sinfield, and then the kick. He dabs it in behind the defenders, and Ben Crooks picks it up.
Good positional play by the youngster. Anticipated the little roll in from Sinfield.
Here goes Lynham.
I think when you look back on this game, Eddie, you've got to say to yourself that, you know, the blitz in the opening 20 minutes by Hull was outstanding. It just blew them away.
Rugby League legends are on Super League Extra Time at 10. Press the red buttons. Barry, Terry and somebody else.
You can be mean at times, Eddie.
I love them all, don't worry.
He's even in the Gateshead Hall of Fame as well.
That's one of your best. That's one of your best, Philip.
And Gold Coast Titans. A statue of me there.
Oh, they're still talking about you there. Did you ever turn up?
One training session.
I think he got the golden tackle pad holder, didn't he, when he went over to rugby union again?
All right, you know, zip it.
Minute and a half to go. Here's Ryan Hall. And Aaron Jeremiah, he just got a hand in the face. McShane, Sinfield, Burrow, Luluai, Burrow again, wide to Delaney.
You know, the Rhinos have tried everything.
But this defensive Hull has been super from start to finish.
We kicked off the season watching these two teams play, Eddie, and there was the disappointment of not seeing Gareth Ellis. And Leeds Rhinos' victory in the end was comprehensive. Although the scoreline tonight isn't as emphatic as, say, in that first game, the performance is as emphatic, I think. Hull FC have done to Leeds what Leeds did to Hull on February 1st.
McShane down the line, but Danny Houghton just flicks the ball out of play. They'll surrender the scrum.
It's a real purple patch that Hull are going through. I know they were lucky to win last week, but sometimes good teams win when they've not played well. Next week will be the real final test, I think. They've travelled to the south of France to play the Catalan Dragons. They were great in defeat here against Wigan a few weeks ago. That's their only defeat in their last 7 games. Now then, if they can go to the south of France, Eddie, and win, I think they're a real chance of getting to the grand final.
Well, it's their first of 2 trips to the Catalan Dragons.
Interesting, will he give a penalty here?
Yes, he will.
Quick thinking there by the winger, Ryan Hall. Shoved the ball through and watch him just go right into definitely pushed away by Tom Lynham.
Here's Jamie Jones-Buchanan, and he gets them to within 2 metres of the try line. It'll be consolation and nothing else for Leeds. No, it won't.
No,
Yes, it might be. They're all offside.
Yeah.
The black and whites.
Not one of them was over the goal line.
Well, they've got to have 2 feet either on or behind the line. And no one ever does, but there you go. Here is Sinfield
Got to be
to the
a kick.
ground.
It's got the
Sutcliffe
kick.
over
That'll
the
do
top.
it.
Briscoe, out you go. Hull have won. Peter Gentle. His team are in wonderful form, and they're not only in wonderful form, they're in the top 4 for the first time this year.